another self-help podcast about being unstuck. There's so many. Are they actually working? Wouldn't we be unstuck by now? I'm Jen Smith, and this is Launch Your Rocket. And today on Truth Behind the Trend, we're taking top self-help advice and we're holding it up to some truth. And I heard yet another motivational lecture last week about joy and getting out of your rut, getting unstuck. That seems to be the hot topic everyone's trying to figure out the answer to. And the host's $1 million advice was this: happiness is something you build through habits, mindset, and daily routines. It's a choice. And I agree that your choices do shape your life. I'm all about habits and routines, and rewiring your thoughts is a critical component. But here's where the world's version of self-help always seems to fall short. Happiness is not something you manufacture. It's something that flows from what you're connected to. You can have the perfect morning routine. You could be productive, goal-driven, you can journal, meditate, and still feel empty. And I know that feeling. I've been there. If you've ever chased happiness but never quite caught it, let me offer you a perspective you might not be hearing. Happiness is not the goal. It's the byproduct, the overflow of what you're connected to. Think of it like this. You've got a potted plant. You water it, you talk to it, maybe you even name it. Come on, Susan, hang in there. I don't know. But if that soil is bad, that plant is still going to struggle no matter how much you nurture it. Now picture a tree planted by a river. It doesn't need someone running around trying to water it every day. It thrives because it's connected to a constant source. And that's how joy works. If your roots are in people-pleasing, perfectionism, hustle, or even just positivity and productivity in the world, it might look fine on the surface, but it'll never sustain you. But when you're connected to something deeper, truth, peace, purpose, that's when joy starts to flow. No striving required. So let's talk about purpose. It's impossible to talk about joy and not talk about purpose, because joy comes from living a purpose-driven life. There's the part of the Design Your Happiness trend that says you design your purpose. And I love the intention behind that, but you don't create your purpose. You discover it. Because the purpose for your life, it's already been written. You don't have to force it or figure it out right now. You just have to take the next step. Get out of your own head. Show up for someone else, because purpose reveals itself through that action, not by overthinking. You just have to be aware of what I call a breadcrumb trail. See, God leaves clues. You just have to be aware and connected enough to a source to see them. He shows you what your purpose is. So here's what the speaker misses altogether. Remember the $1 million advice? Happiness is something you build through your habits, your mindset, and your routines. It's a choice. Now here's the part that no one's really saying. The fastest way to find joy is to stop seeking and focusing so much on yourself and start pouring into others and get lost in the service of others. And I know that doesn't sound sexy to some people, but it's true. This is how you get unstuck. Joy doesn't come from taking more in. It comes from pouring more out. You feel stuck? Encourage someone. You feel low? Bless someone. You feel, lost? Serve someone. It can be simple. A smile, holding the door. We're wired to come alive when we serve. And most joy-filled people you know, they're not chasing happiness. They're giving it away daily, and God's pouring it back on them. So now that you're connected, I'll come to agreement with the self-help podcast host. Now that you have your purpose, now happiness is something you build through mindset and daily routines, because now you're building with the right blueprint. Imagine trying to build a Lego tower using instructions from, Barbie's dream castle. That's what you're doing when you're using the world's system and not the source. So take a breath and ask for wisdom. Because when you're connected to the right source of joy, purpose, and peace, you don't have to be forced. It flows. And that's where joy and more happiness comes from. Pour out, and God pours back on you. The world says build the life you want through better habits, smarter goals, and more hustle. But with faith, you build a life of joy, peace, and purpose by staying connected to the source of those things. The world says design your own purpose, but God says, I already wrote your purpose. Just follow me and I'll give it to you. The world says chase happiness, but God says serve others and joy will chase you. The world says figure it all out, and God says I'll guide you. You don't have to know it all. I'll reroute you. Just stay close to me. I'll show you the way. The breadcrumb trail, I call it. You get lost in the service of others, and God lights up a path for you that leads to joy and abundance. And that's how you get unstuck. And that's it for today on Truth Behind the Trend. If you find this valuable or you think there's somebody who might enjoy it, please share it, like, and comment. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Launch Your Rocket, or you can go to launchyourrocket.com. I have a website and you can join my community there. And certainly all of those things are kind of the front porch, but if you want to come inside the house, go to YouTube, because that's where I put up daily inspiration every day. And listening to the right things will absolutely get you unstuck. I'm so grateful you joined me today. I'll see you next time on Truth Behind the Trend.